7 easy ways to promote your podcast. You want your voice to be heard, and you want people to listen to your podcast. If you need ideas to get the ball rolling, then stay tuned to this presentation. Today, you're going to know 7 of the easiest ways to promote your new podcast to your target audience. Let's begin. Number 1, submit to as many podcast directories as possible. Make sure you have your podcast title, description, tags, artwork, and a few episodes ready before you submit your podcast to directories. Your first stop should be iTunes, simply because it's the largest podcast directory in the world. Next, upload your content to platforms like Spotify, Google Play Music, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and more. Number 2, share on social media. Let your followers on social media know that you've got a podcast. Whichever platforms you use, let your family and friends know and ask them to share it with their followers as well. Number 3, ask your podcast listeners to follow you on social media. For branding purposes, use your podcast title as your social media handle. It will be easier for people to remember your brand that way. Give a quick mention of your social media channels on every episode and ask your listeners to follow you. Number 4, link your podcast episodes on your blog. Create a new post for every episode and add a link to your MP3 file. Then write out a transcript or show notes for each episode. Your written content will be indexed on search engines, so you'll most probably get a nice chunk of search engine traffic later on. Number 5, interview experts in your niche. People love being recognized as experts, so if you tell people you're interviewing experts for your podcast, chances are you'll have a good number of people signing up. They can promote their businesses or their podcasts, and they'll let people know that they were interviewed on your awesome show. Number 6, record your podcast on video. Hit 2 birds with 1 stone and video yourself while recording your podcast episode. Then upload it to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. to give your fans a sneak peek at how you do your podcast. Number 7, pay for advertising. You don't need to spend a ton of money to get the word out about your new podcast. If you can afford to spare a few dollars a day, you can advertise on Facebook ads, Instagram, maybe even Bing ads.